What if the Roman Empire never fell? At its height, the Roman Empire was one of the most powerful civilizations the world had ever seen. It stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Middle East, from northern Britain to the sands of North Africa. It was a world of vast cities, aqueducts, paved roads, public baths, and a legal system that would shape future nations. Roman legions enforced order, Latin connected distant provinces, and trade brought together Europe, Africa, and Asia. And then, seemingly overnight, it collapsed. The year 476 AD marked the end of the Western Roman Empire. Its fall was not a single moment, but a slow unraveling caused by internal corruption, economic instability, military overreach, and constant invasions from Germanic tribes and other outsiders. With its fall came centuries of stagnation, the rise of feudalism, and the loss of countless innovations. But what if that collapse never happened? What if Rome endured? Imagine a world where the Roman Empire survived the storms of invasion and decay. Reforms are made, corruption brought under control, the economy is stabilized, and military defenses are reorganized. The empire not only survives, it evolves. The emperors of this alternate timeline recognize the signs of decline and take action, perhaps decentralizing power, allowing for more local autonomy, or transitioning into a more flexible constitutional model. What follows is not an age of darkness, but an age of uninterrupted progress. The first major impact would be the avoidance of the so-called Dark Ages. Without the collapse of Rome, there's no sudden loss of urban life, no mass abandonment of cities, no decay of trade networks or infrastructure. Roads remain maintained. Aqueducts keep water flowing. Education continues. The knowledge of the Greeks and Romans never disappears into dusty monasteries, but is built upon and improved. Science becomes continuous rather than cyclical. In this world, literacy rates climb as Roman schooling spreads to the masses. Cities like Londinium, Lutetia, and Carthago Nova grow into global centers of learning and innovation. Instead of decaying ruins, they become thriving metropolises. The Latin language evolves, but does not splinter. Rather than producing French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, it unifies into one modern global language. The Roman legal system expands, standardizing justice across continents. Crime is handled by well-funded urban police forces, and Roman engineering leads to the development of early mechanical devices, advanced farming tools, and possibly even prototypes of industrial machines centuries earlier than in our timeline. Religious transformation would also unfold differently. Christianity was already spreading rapidly by the time of Rome's decline. In a surviving empire, the church would have grown in tandem with the state, likely becoming a stabilizing institution under imperial guidance rather than a splintered political power. There would be no chaotic power vacuum that allowed for competing kingdoms and fragmented religious authority. Instead, a unified spiritual and secular Roman identity would shape global values. And then there's science. With education uninterrupted and trade open, scientific thought develops in a straight line. Concepts like gravity, astronomy, and mathematics are studied consistently from ancient texts through new discoveries. Thinkers like Galileo and Newton might have been preceded by others hundreds of years earlier. In fact, it's very possible that industrialization could begin by the 1000s, not the 1700s. Steam power was already being explored by Hero of Alexandria in the 1st century. With centuries of development, engines, machinery, and even electricity could arrive well before our modern age. Medicine would advance as well, with steady funding for education and urban hygiene systems already in place. Roman doctors would refine surgical techniques, understand contagion, and potentially develop vaccines long before they appeared in our world. Diseases like smallpox and the plague might have been eradicated before they became pandemics. Infant mortality would plummet, and life expectancy would rise dramatically. Hospitals become part of everyday life by the Middle Ages, not the Renaissance. Now imagine global exploration. With Roman naval dominance and an interest in expansion, the Americas could be discovered far earlier than 1492. But it may not happen through conquest and colonization. A Roman-led exploration might be more organized, backed by government support, scientific study, and infrastructure planning. Contact with Native American civilizations could be less destructive and more collaborative. Imagine Aztec engineers working with Roman architects. Imagine global cities shaped by multiple civilizations blending ideas under one vast imperial umbrella. The political map would be completely different. There would be no France, no Germany, no England as independent nations. These would be provinces of the greater Roman world, with governors instead of kings. The medieval wars that shaped modern Europe might never happen. Instead, disputes would be settled in imperial courts, not bloody battlefields. There would be no crusades, no 100 Years' War, no collapse of empires, and violent revolutions. History would be more stable but perhaps more just. Even the modern age would look different. With centuries of uninterrupted development, the Roman Empire could have entered the space age before the 20th century. The moon landing might have taken place in the 1800s. The first computers might have been built by steam, powered by logic engines in the late 1700s. Artificial intelligence, air travel, and the internet could be centuries older than they are today. Humanity might already have a colony on Mars. Cities would be interconnected by high-speed rail and clean energy. Pollution and poverty would be managed through centuries-old social systems. And yes, in this timeline, you might not even be watching this video. Your country might not exist. Your language might be Latin. Your name, your job, your entire identity could be shaped by 2,000 years of Roman civilization. The fall of Rome wasn't just the end of an empire, it was the loss of a future we never got to see. So, what do we learn from this? History doesn't just move forward, it fractures. One collapse can echo through centuries. The fall of the Roman Empire delayed human progress in ways we're still trying to recover from. But it also gives us perspective. The more we protect knowledge, invest in education, and learn from our past, the more we can build a future that avoids the mistakes of collapse. If you enjoyed this journey through alternate history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Drop a comment below. What do you think the world would look like if Rome never fell? Or suggest your own what-if ideas. We might just explore yours next. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, history is full of turning points, but sometimes it's the ones that never happened that tell us the most.